do you want to like start with a created game, or do you want to kind of introduce
Oh,
him because it's his first time?
I've actually started this phase though. But hi guys, and welcome once again to Mancala Monday. So today we have a new guest, which his name is Victor. But before then, I would want him to introduce himself, and also Eniola, you can also introduce yourself. And we have Okai, which is the main man. But before we dive straight into that, so today we'll be having like small game session, and then we'll have Okai have a live coding session. So you should stick around to the end to actually see how he's going to do some Cairo coding here on screen. So, Victor, could you please introduce yourself?
hi guys, my name is Victor, and I'm a software developer at Removra. I'm actually the guy, responsible for the front end. I'm here today to hear what we all think because we are working on a V2 of Mancala. So I want to know the things that, I should really optimize in that V2. But I'm also hyped to play with Eniola. I played with her before and she won me. So I also have everybody has a bone to pick with Eniola. So yeah, so I'm pretty excited to be here.
Yeah, you sound very excited, so I can't wait to see you play. I mean, any has won almost everybody except for Okai, so I'll be excited
Yeah,
to actually see you win any today.
yeah, I hope so too.
So, okay, could you please give us like a brief detail on what you'll be coding after the game session?
All right. Um, since it's the first game, first live coding session, I wanted to start like something slight, walk you all through a little bit of like the game code base, and then like work on pass. So we talked about like a monthly pass. Since this game is in development, we wanted to implement a monthly pass, January, a March pass, April pass since we're in April, and I would, kind of like walk you through kind of the completion of that. It should take like just one session or two. So maybe next week we should be done with that. And then, we can have a proper roadmap of the more in-depth to build till the tournament system. If you're talking, Paul, you're on mute.
Oh, pretty much. Yes, I was saying awesome. That's pretty cool, and as well, I'm sure our guest can't wait to. Also, Nikki is actually standby waiting. I think you should share him the link.
Okay, I'm going to send him the link right now then. So maybe he can play Eniola. Haha. Give me a
Yeah.
second.
Hi, Pinini. Can you speak now? Can you hear us as well?
Okay. Um,
Yeah. So, Victor, have you created the game yet?
it's a mute. Victor, you're mute if you're talking, but you should go to like any of the games that you created. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was on mute. So I think she should just join this second one here.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
awesome. So before we start, like, okay, who do you have your bets on?
So Victor has been playing a lot because we're having a session in University of Anambra, if I'm not mistaken, on
Yeah.
Friday. And
Mm.
Victor has been walking people through the game. He has played a lot of the game. He knows a lot of the logic. So my bet might be on Victor. Sorry, Aniola. But Aniola is good, so I'm done actually. I'm
Mm.
done.
Awesome.
I'm done. But just for good measures, I'll put my bet on Eniola.
Why? You just placed a bet on Victor right now, and you're switching up.
No, I didn't place a bet on Victor. I said he's good at the game.
Okay.
And he has been working through people a lot on the game. So he might have picked a lot of things. But Eniola is an OG, right? So to play it safe, I might go with the OG.
Interesting. So, and today Victor started. So, unlike usually when any starts the game, and or do you think this will impact the outcome of this game?
Um, no, because no, it's Eniola is a good player, right? She's a very good strategy player. So I don't think it will impact the outcome.
Awesome. So, Victor, any while you're playing, you can actually like converse to make it like a bit more interesting. If
I mean, she just
Okay.
put what I was planning right there, but it's fine. It's fine.
mm,
Yeah,
Whatever you are planning, I don't think
yeah.
it's going to work.
so, Victor, what was your first encounter with Mancala?
Okay, so over here, I live in Edo State. In
Oh,
Edo
nice.
State, yeah, my mother, my grandmother, these people have this. I never knew at first that it was, you know, the English word was Mancala. You get, so I never even knew what the name of the game was. All we knew was there was this board with holes on it and used rocks to move all around. So when Tony came to me with the idea, I was like, "Oh, let's beat Mancala," and he showed me. I was like, "So the English word for this is Mancala." I never knew it as Mancala. So yeah, that was how
Awesome.
I feel. Yeah.
So, what year would you say that was?
We never really spoke about, naming or anything. We're just like, oh, that game with board and rocks. That is how I knew it.
I said what year? What year? What year?
Oh, what year? I
Mm-hmm.
think the last time I saw my grandma was maybe like 7, 8 years ago. I don't know. Yeah.
Awesome. Nice. Penny, any idea?
Hello, mic check.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
How are
awesome.
we doing?
We're doing
Good.
good. Eniola and Victor are playing the game. Victor is asking for feedback on the UI. He's working on the V2. So if you have any suggestion, you can also propose like that. I have a couple of suggestions because I just finished playing with a couple of people right now. And I can start giving the feedback, but you all can also do that too. But yeah, that's what's up, Pinini.
Yeah, I mean, I came in wearing sheets because last week two people threw sheets at me and I was coming to settle it. Unfortunately, I was having technical issues at the beginning, but I'm glad that I'm finally in. So that is like the first reason I'm wearing sheets today. The second reason is I don't actually want to look at the crypto market with my naked eye right now. There's too much bleeding.
Um, no, the crypto market is showing us making a lot of interesting moves today. Not fun. I wanted to buy the dip, but I'm like, it's what, right? uh, I bought the dip and the dip dipped and I bought the dip again. Now I'm like, what am I supposed to buy the dip with? But we'll see.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
So who is Victor?
Victor is the front end developer. Is You actually know him as Supreme. He worked on Bankless Africa. Um, is the front end developer that makes most of the front end that we've ever worked together on is Victor doing.
Oh,
Um,
that's awesome.
mhm.
Oh, it's really interesting that it's been years and we are connecting via Mancala. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice to meet you, by the way.
Yeah, Victor. Really nice to meet you. So how is the game going? Who is winning? Who is losing?
They just started. It's still a tie, but I'm thinking Eniola might end up winning. Um, but yeah, And this is another interesting thing, visual effects, Victor. So one feedback was that the screen can go based on you playing. So if you're losing enough seats, your screen can get darker, like going to red. So it's kind of like showing you danger.
So like around the board.
Yeah,
like,
around the board.
I see.
So it's kind of like a visual effect, right? So again, one of the major feedbacks that I've gotten from playing today was the visual effects. That if you can, tell more stories from the play, it will be helpful for players. That part, like if you're doing a streak, because the game I just ended up playing, the player kept doing a lot of streaks. It's like maybe there can even be a visual reward, like when you get an extra turn, you get another extra turn, you get another extra turn in a row. There can be a visual effect that tells that story, or just rewards the player, because right now you do it, but there's no kind of like appeal there.
I see.
That is one feedback.
I would need to write this down, so please give me a second.
It's any turn anyways. Paul, see what I said? It seems like Annie is leading. She started second.
Yeah.
My bet was right then.
So I mean, the front end guy should have actually be very good at this. It doesn't work like that.
He should
No,
be
it
very.
doesn't work
I
like
mean,
that.
the game is not over yet, so let's see.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, like the fact that you built the game doesn't mean that you would automatically be good at it in terms of the play. I think a lot of developers, there are gamers, right? And then there are developers or builders, and so I see it as being able to to get people to express their gaming dexterity whilst beating the developers is cool.
Oh no!
How about now, guys?
He just did something serious.
12 speed, bro. 12
How about
speed.
now?
He just did something really
Crazy.
That's crazy.
How do you like me now?
Did you by any means introduce juju or something like spell? Are we able to cast spells now to capture multiple seats?
I probably should introduce Juju. I think you get the Juju, but no.
Yeah, because 12 seats at a go. I think that's a record, right? I haven't seen anyone capture that amount of seats yet.
I also have not. Well, I think I've played enough to see that part. I think even with Eniola, she's captured something similar while I play her before. But yeah, how the tides have turned.
So at this stage right now, we have 19-10. Do you think any still have chances of getting anything for this game?
No, I don't think so. She
Actually,
can extend the game, but
all I need to do is get 24, because right now, if she doesn't add any more seeds to my pit, I'm in trouble, because the moment I run out, I will automatically lose.
Oh, that's true though.
The moment I run out of seeds,
Wait,
I
Eniola can delay the game for him to lose.
Yeah.
Eniola, do your thing, delay the game.
Yeah, I mean, let's see it gets competitive.
I'm in
that's
trouble. I am in serious trouble right now, guys.
Enola is not just delaying the game; she's actually catching up. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
She's won the game, not even catching up.
Yeah,
She's catching up. Do something, Victor. Cast a spell, bro.
Delay the game. Delay the game.
Oh,
What is Eniola doing?
she has already won, because I will run out of seats first before her.
Oh,
That's
wow.
crazy.
I will run out of seats first before her. So
Yo, the
I did
game,
not start.
The game
I
is
did
in a
not-
draw. Who is
not-
taking the lead?
it's
Who is
not a
taking the
draw.
lead?
Not a draw. She has won.
Yeah, I'm doing
I will
that.
run out of stairs before her.
Well, no, she's not won. Okay. Yeah, she's won. If she moves a 3, you cannot capture it. If she doesn't, it's going to be a tie. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but she would have seen it anyway.
Yes. Anyway, I have an idea, Ohai. I think we could have a commentator, right?
Mhm.
You know, that would be interesting.
They're gonna make people think we're running UFC in here.
Exactly.
This
you
is
know,
not a boxing match.
Neki in the building, playing with him.
Yeah.
The mimetic, the
Yo, so I decided to twin.
genius.
I decided to twin with you. I saw you were wearing shades, so I figured I'd wear shades in solidarity because we're all going through a lot.
Bro,
It is dumping.
thank
I'm
you for
sad.
joining the
I've been,
shade
I've,
gang. Thank
I've
you for
been
joining
sad
the
for
shade
days.
gang. We have
Yeah.
a score to settle.
Yeah, 21, 22.
Where?
Thank you.
Wow.
What were we saying
So,
about?
hold on. I really thought him capturing 12 seeds at once meant something. He still
No,
lost.
The
lost.
problem was I ran out of seed first. You
That's
get,
crazy.
So, yeah, I ran out of
The
seeds.
problem is you don't know how to play. You're not a good player. I'm not a good player either. So
Talk
yeah.
your shit, bro. Talk your shit, bro. Neki, talk your shit.
Right. Like we don't make excuses for failure around here. You suck, bro. Be
Fair
better.
enough.
Okay, so
Yo.
I mean, if you played me right now, I'll lose. I'll lose if you played me right now. But yeah, you still suck. So
Do we want to see this? Prince, Neki has not played this variant before. I don't think so. Do we want to see Victor or any other? No. Who do we want to
I
see?
mean, I've lost once. I don't want to lose a second time, please.
I think
Okay, Neki.
I
Neki,
think
let's go.
Yini should play with Nikki.
I'm gonna lose, guys.
Neki,
I don't know how to play this.
Neki, you know there are. I know your caliber of gamers, right? I know your type, bro. You start the game by dropping these comments, and then the player loses guard, and then you tactically use that to win the game. It ain't happening here, bro. It's not
I'm a
happening
very
here.
honest person. I really do not know. I really do not know how to play this, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. I will try. I mean, I have to give you guys a show anyway.
Yeah,
I see my
I mean,
fans in the audience looking up to me. So, for better or worse, I'm gonna play.
Yes, let's get. Actually, Neki, this is actually my first time of playing this. I've at Mancala. I don't know about Mancala. I've never heard of Mancala, bro. So me too. This is my first
I
time.
really do not believe you because I joined the last Mancala Monday stream and you were literally giving the history of Mancala in Ghana and how it dates back to 7,000 years. So I'm sorry, I
Bro.
really do not believe your narrative about knowing nothing about the game, because if you know so much about its history, you definitely know how to play. And I think you also referenced playing with, I don't know who, your folks
Ooh,
back in Ghana.
nobody.
I'm not sure.
Nobody. Let me set up the game.
Wow.
Yes. So
You guys are going to watch him put my head on a chopping block. I don't know how to play. I'm here to learn, but okay.
Yeah, so we have Pinini and Neki. So Pinini, you will have to share your screen though. I mean,
But Pinini
Yeah.
said the score to settle. That's why he wanted shades. Is it settling the score now, or what is it doing? Is it trying to get a cheap win? I'm confused. Pinini. your dark shit done.
Who's
A W.
somebody
A
should
W
send me
is
a
a
link to
W,
join the game,
bruh.
please.
A W is a W.
No,
There's
it
no
just-
cheap. There's no cheap wins, bruh.
It
A
just
win
means
is a win.
it just means you're scared. But let's hurry up and play this so that we have enough time to do the live coding session.
Can anyone send me a link to join the game, please?
I
Yeah,
will send-
Hold up. Let me. I'm trying to. So let me set it up, and then I'll drop you the link.
I will drop you the link in the chat right now.
Okay.
again, I would really appreciate if nobody had any high hopes. I don't know how to play.
So what's going on, Pinayene?
Yeah, I'm setting up, connecting my wallet.
Okay. It seems like it's loading.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm doing the session stuff.
Okay. I see.
Okay, so let's create a game, and this is public. Then create a game. So I am thinking that. Okay, so this is a quick one. Can you like?
No, you can
give-
just go to the game. You
No.
can give the link, but the thing is, it needs to connect his wallet. So
Yeah. No. The suggestion I want to give is that can we have names for games? Like this one, like this. I want to name it Rambo in the, you understand, jungle Mancala. So games could have names for. I think that could be fun.
That's
What
a
do you
good
think?
idea. Victor, what do you think? Since he thinks deeply about this too, Victor.
Sorry, I did not catch that. What do
So-
I think about what?
He said, can games, each individual game have their unique names? So he wants to create a game called Rambo in the Jungle, right? He creates this game, he gives it a name, and then he sends it to his friend, or create a public post that, hey, I'm going to be playing Rambo in the Jungle in 2 hours. You can come join, play, spectate, or whatever. But it has a name. So when people want to come, instead of looking for like X versus X or Pininin versus Neke, it is Rambo in the Jungle. So you come and play Rambo. Come and watch or play Rambo in the Jungle Mancala.
So that is very possible. What I would do is I would reach out to the designer so that he can probably get started on that.
Awesome. Nikki, are you in?
Yeah, I'm about to be. Sorry, give me 1 minute. Thank you.
Okay.
And
I
Paul,
had some issue connecting my. Just
I don't-
signing into my cartridge wallet.
okay, Paul, if you want to mute this, just for the audience,
Sorry, Isha should do what?
if you want to mute the, okay, there's no sound again. It's fine. I was hearing some sound and I didn't want it to confuse the audience.
Yeah.
And Pinini, what is your feedback on that tutorial? We're still working on it, right? Again, I think we would add a video tutorial also, but we wanted something that's like a quick thing. That's why we added that one. But it's still a work in progress. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it could definitely use some work. For example, I don't know, maybe for first-time players, right? There could be a guide through. So it could guide you to pick a seed, right? So you click on it, it moves, and then once there's a capture, it tells you that, okay, this is, you captured this, and tells you why you captured it, right? So I think Eternum had that for the onboarding. They would highlight something. So like if I want to enable that, and I do, when I hover over a pit and there's an action that I want to take, it can just pop up and tell me that, okay, if you click on this seed, it moves like this, and once it lands on this, you get to capture this, you get to capture that. I don't know if you are getting the point that I'm trying to make.
Could we go to the
Also-
tutorial screen so that I am getting this correctly?
Yeah.
Because I think
Also,
that is related.
also the box, the tutorial box is covering the Mancala, and I feel like it's not a very
Can anybody hear me?
user-centric design. So maybe it shouldn't cover the Mancala board, right?
Me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Nete.
Maybe we can hear you. Are
And
you
so
in?
maybe Eddie can play while we
Okay,
wait for
I'm stuck trying to min.
Inyola, hoping, and let's use this as a kind of a warm-up.
Okay.
whilst Nikki sort out his technical issues.
So if you don't win any other, you can at least
No, I mean, like this is a warm up, right? Like at this point, I this is going to be a warm up. Okay, all right, let's get it.
Why are you tagging it as warm up? Are you scared?
Oh no, I mean,
Don't worry, I'm going to go easy on you this time around. So
oh no, don't go easy, please.
okay.
Yes.
Paul, what do you think? Are you getting a vibe of like a pub? Where people just hanging out and like talking about over the game, or what are you getting?
I mean, it's getting interesting, but I don't know for this game. I just want someone to beat Eniola, so I'm going to have my bet on Pinini.
Please, I need the bet in tokens, bro.
So definitely it's something we're looking at like over the course of next milestone of finding a way to integrate with like a prediction market in that case. So you might have to earn something from that. But yeah.
So this might actually be the last game. I mean, what do you think, okay?
Yeah, I think it will be. Next week we can play with Neke. But what? Oh yeah, next week we can play with Neke. So there's one idea I thought about why I would do this. I don't know if anybody has played Pistol at 10 blocks. Paul?
No?
Okay. So it's a game being developed in the Rams world too. I see Mancala as a very good mini game, right? So the setting is around the pub, right? It's where you go to a pub, you all can get drunk, and then you can go fight and shoot each other. But you can't. Oh, you know the game. So composability.
Yeah.
Another beautiful thing about on-chain game is like the composability. So we can literally work with or talk to the guys from the PC or 10 blocks that we can have like a side game in there where you can play Mancala in the pub. So it's going to be the same game in a different client. But this is kind of like one benefit of like on-chain game, that composability. And I told you I played this game before, yeah. That idea came up, and I think it's a very good idea that I might look at exploring.
That's cool. So Pinini, did you go to study the game or just? I think you should mute the music in the background.
Oh, it's playing.
Yeah,
I actually can hear it. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was asking, did you go to learn a bit more? Or you just giving the shot today?
No. What is the word for this? Yeah. I'm shooting from the hip. I'm playing from the hip. So let's see. Head first. We're diving in. Any, it's your move.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, really playing well this time around.
Plenty calculations. Like any is doing calculus, right? Calculus, differentiation, integration. Come on, any. Let's have fun. Too much calculation. You see, so how is any time any makes a moves, she gets to capture a seat, one or two. And here I am. Yeah, let's also do some.
It's still any stun though. Oh, but you can do some calculus, but she can make a move to kind of like upset your calculus. You call it calculus. Okay.
All right, so it's my turn now.
But I was surprised that Victor lost the last game.
Why were you surprised? Why?
I know, right? I was counting on she not saying a few things. If she did not say a few things, was done already.
You just lost 5 now because Annie has some 3 that she can put there and take your 5, and it's a move.
So what happens when six seats? Any just captured 6 seats in 6 pits.
I thought
Crazy.
you put your dark shades on. You were like you don't want to see anything. Maybe you're not actually seeing anything at this point.
Oh man, let's see. I mean, if any can catch up on 1911 score with Victor, probably I am hopeful. I should be optimistic.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, there should be some sort of a handshake after the game, you know. That this is feedback to Ohio and Victor. I don't know how you would implement that, but could be interesting.
So I did not get that. Sorry.
You know, like a sort of a handshake after the game.
So like Clash Royale, when you play Clash Royale, right? There's a way you can
Mhm.
put emojis, good job, thank you, type of thing. So after the game, you can use that emoji to kind of like signal to your opponent that, hey, you did a good job. Or I'm in tears. Like it's an emoji.
Exactly, right? Yes.
I just lost, kind of thing.
Yes.
Oh my god.
What happened, Annie?
You just lost a 3. Like, sorry.
Oh, really?
Okay,
Yo,
for
it
me.
seems any is probably like 3 steps ahead.
Yeah, I mean
Any,
that's how players do.
yeah,
I'm
that's how
sorry.
players do.
How long has Annie been playing for? How is she so good? How
said
is
she
Annie
played
so good? I don't get it.
She said she played my great.
Is there anybody? Is there anybody on this call? Is there anybody on this call that can actually beat Annie?
Is that a
Yeah.
question? Is that a
Okay.
question?
There is one. I mean, there is Okai at least.
Yeah, that is a question. This is an open challenge. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've
I'm
beaten
challenging
any.
anybody to beat Annie.
Bro, if you are declaring an open challenge, put a reward on it.
Exactly.
Drop a
Yeah.
drop a reward, a bounty, and let's go.
I'll
After.
give you 1 Stark, and 1 Stark will
Anything.
probably be worth 100K. Like, I don't know. Our reward is 1 Stark, guys. That's the reward pool. 1 Stark. If you want it,
No,
take
I would
it.
actually drop a bounty. Okay, I'll drop a bounty in large to anybody that beats Eniola and me consecutively. Okay, no.
Yola, please let me win. We'll split the bounty.
Yeah, I mean that could actually be a good one. Maybe the next session or
Yeah, and you can make it an open invite to anyone.
Yep.
Or I would post it in Starknet Africa, right? Anybody that can beat Eniola, will get, let's say, $10 worth of lot, and see
Yeah.
how. Just
Yeah, I
for
mean, yeah.
and if Eniola wins, she gets it. How
Mm-hmm.
about?
No problem. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So maybe we could even have it like a 3 round session. Like they play if anyone wins like all three, or maybe 2-1, or maybe as the case may be, instead of like just one session. Or so we'll be starting. Okay, you actually like that good.
Yeah, I think that would be
Yeah,
best of
yeah.
best of three.
And
But
and mhm.
what I think about is the Mancala Mondays with the live coding. I think maybe we'd have to separate it. If it gets that long, right? I don't think we're going to be able to squeeze everything in an hour, and I don't want to, you know, get everybody's time longer than an hour or an hour 30 minutes, right? So maybe we might have to separate it if we go that route. But then there might be a bounty every week to someone that wins, like Eniola or myself. What are your thoughts, Imadon?
I mean, to accommodate the live coding session, maybe it could just be a single game with any, then a single game with you, as the case may be. Um, yeah, so just to accommodate the live coding session.
No, what I'm saying is the live coding session can be like a Mancala Friday, where it's coding,
Okay.
and Mancala Mondays is the gaming session. Uh,
Mm,
Again, it's just an
interesting.
idea I'm spitballing out there. We might kind of like think about it properly. It just came here right now, and then we can talk
Yeah,
about it of
yeah,
three if that works. And that one I can just host it, so we wouldn't even need to so we can get the audience that want to actually kind of like tap into the coding session, get into the coding session. So it
yeah,
doesn't
sure.
feel like we are kind of rushing this part or like robbing off, people's kind of game experience.
Yeah. So at this point, Pinini, do you still like have any chance? Do you think you have any chance of winning?
Oh yes. Even with one seat, one pit to go. It's like one bullet left. We still on
Ini,
grinding.
Yeah, that one billet is not
Ini,
going to.
take off your shades. I want to see the tears in your eyes. Take off your shades. I'm sure your eyes are welled up right now. I mean, I need to
My
see your eyes.
my there's a local balance statement that we use called mania bre. Mania bre is like my eye is red, bro.
I figured. I mean, it's brutal out here. The markets are brutal. Now you're losing at Mancala. I hope you've eaten something
Yo.
today, though.
Nah,
Try
but
to
like
eat.
any would really confirm that I've given her a run for her money this time round.
No, she
Like,
actually spared you, bro. She would have taken your four, like last move. She chose not to.
bro, you might have seen it, but she didn't see it. It's like when you are watching soccer, right? You would like players should do this, players should do that. But when you are on the field and you're actually playing, you get to know that it's not as simple as it seems, right? So when you are observing, you are able to digest a lot of information. But when you are playing, and with that, yeah, any is gone.
Sorry.
Annie is gone. She's gone. Ah man. All right. So
She's won
yeah, I
already.
think yeah. She's. So another quick feedback is I think you can add a concede button where once a player wants to concede defeat graciously, they can click on that button and then the the game ends, right? Instead of
That's
I think when I there's end there, right?
yeah.
But when I click on the end, it just kind of like ends it. But I think it would be nice to have like concede defeat or something.
Okay, so it ended the game. And this is kind of like
Okay.
UI perspective. So Victor, did you get that feedback?
Yes, I have written it down already.
Awesome.
So a handshake, Enola, that was a great game, very awesome. And
Thank you.
yes, so we are leading to 0 as far as the game in between us is concerned.
So I do think this actually kind of like it makes my doubts about okay who starts the game wins the game kind of like upset like it's more like Tini started the game, he lost. Victor started, he lost as well. So, and anybody watching, it doesn't actually starting the game doesn't actually guarantee that you would win the game. So it's basically that simple. If it's any you are playing, you should actually be prepared. It's not about just starting the game.
Yeah, it's a skill game. There's a little bit of like there's no randomness in the game, right? And there's a little bit of luck too.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's still like the person with the most skill would win. And there's something that we talked about to even reduce your doubt even further about that random who, not the person that creates the game, gets to the game. So I think if we add those two elements, it's kind
Awesome.
of makes it more fair.
So right now, I think we'll be diving into building. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, once we are, I'm going to jump up. But my last feedback is the so Ohio. I'm not. Do we have
A
a
tutorial.
player profile? Do we have a player profile?
Yes, click on the Mancala game, the icon on top of the scoring board. Oh no, we took
Okay.
out the profile actually. So go to lobby. We took out the profile. It used to be under the settings. See that gear? That is just kind of objectives.
You can click on the gear icon. I think we moved it. We did not remove it.
No, we took it out.
Okay.
The gear
Yeah,
icon.
so-
Click on the gear icon.
Yeah, we
Then
took it
the
out.
pencil. Yeah.
No, but we had
Yeah.
it had stats of the player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Remove that.
That's what I'm looking for, because I think that you could probably figure out a way to kind of bring it back, right? So I should be able to see my game plays, and then I see my wins and my losses, and then the players that I've kind of played with or played against.
That was our
So that's
intention
my
initially.
last feedback.
That was our intention when we initially had the profile, but then we got a feedback on like reducing the number of clicks for a player, and that's one feedback that made us take it out. But if this is another thing that you think it's good, I think we still have the page design, Victor.
Mm-hmm. We do.
We can definitely still put it back if you think it's important, and I think it is too, because if you want to see who you played and when you played them, and how many times you played them, it might be kind of like helpful. Um, but yeah, we probably might prioritize that later. Right now, I mean the V2 we can kind of like include it, but we'll see how it goes. And it looks very exciting.
Yeah.
I have a suggestion, an idea for the game.
Mhm.
So it's a multiplayer game, right? And there's definitely an instance where, for instance, Think Decade might be losing again, or has lost several times in a row, and he gets annoyed and he's like, "Shit, I'm not playing again," and he just decides to exit the game without ending properly or choosing to concede defeat. So it would be nice to maybe include something where if a player isn't active for maybe 3 minutes, the game can allow the other person claim victory, or 5 minutes or something, you know, just to avert any instances where somebody could just get tired of losing and decide to leave, or maybe something happens and they just decide to leave and then the other person is just stuck in the game. So maybe there should be a system where if one player is inactive for, I don't think it should take forever for you to be able to calculate your move. It's supposed to be a fast moving game. So if a player is inactive for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, well, the other player can claim victory, something like that.
Yeah, we do
Isn't
have that system. That's where the timer is. That's why.
Isn't it?
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's the same feedback because I know you're a chess player. I when I was doing my internship at Nethermind, one of my project manager is a chess player, and he gave me that feedback based on that action from when you're playing online chess. People walk away, and that definitely not.
Yeah. So yeah, no, Neki.
Quote of the day. Quote of the day. I might lose at Mancala, but I will never lose in chess. Full stop.
Okay.
End dropped.
I mean, if you lose as Mancala, for me, that's the equivalent of you losing chess. For me. So you definitely.
I am going to get better. I am committed. Don't worry.
Okay. So now I'm sharing my screen for the coding. I know maybe time is getting fast spent, so I'm not going to go in depth, but we'll definitely finish this by next session. So yeah, what you can see in front of you is kind of like the repo to Mancala. It's an open source game. So the contract and the client, everything you can find here. I mean, for this version. So yeah, this is this. I'm going to just clone this onto my repo, and then we can continue. But if you all have questions before I get in, I would still appreciate that. Okay, penny in drop. But okay, so in this case, I'm just going to go to my temporal folder and clone it into it. All right, just cloning the game. User Mancala. So I guess my idea here was kind of like vibe coding kind of thing. I literally did not prepare for this one, so my bad. But next one we'll definitely be more prepared. But yeah, I was thinking if we can vibe code Mancala and see how that leads or where that leads us to. This is kind of like a new update here. Victor, definitely if you want to put your input here, this is cool. If you have any questions, that would be cool. And are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Cool. Can you all see my screen clearly?
We can.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is the Mancala contract, or this is how the repo is. We are actively developing from the develop branch. So I'm just going to git switch to develop. Okay, so now I'm in the develop branch. The way it's structured is like we have the client, we have the contract. We'll look at the contract. I'll go to scarp.toml. This is kind of like all the dependencies or the metadata for the game. And in this case, we are using Dojo as a dependency. I guess Dojo is the framework for building on-chain games on Starknet. So anyone that is looking into like building on-chain game, I highly recommend using Dojo if you want to kind of like come in the box with pretty much all the systems you will need to kind of like build from game to or prototype to game very fast. It's built by the guys at Dojo. It's also an open source repo, so you can look at the docs and you'll see that it comes with a couple of toolchain: Katana, Tori, Sozo, Saya, and Slot. All these kind of like really helpful tools that you would not need to reinvent on your own. Katana is kind of like a test net for building, or prototyping and deploying very fast instead of using Sepolia straight up. This kind of gives you more flexibility. Tori is an indexer, an automatic indexer. So if you're building your own game, right, you might have to build your own indexer. With Dojo, it comes with like this thing that if you're writing a Dojo contract, it's kind of like automatically indexes for you. So it just makes your experience faster. Sozo is similar to Scarb. If you are familiar with building on Starknet, definitely you've heard of Scarb. It's a package manager. Sozo is the alternative for Dojo games. Then Saya is a new tool. I'm talking about this, and this kind of like improves the experience for us. Like we're building Mancala, and if I'm looking at reducing the cost, so reducing the cost and improving the user experience. Saya helps us build an app chain that can literally make Mancala free for players. So people don't have to worry about, oh, it's an on-chain game, I have to pay a lot for every transaction. From the experience, we can make it, because of Saya, we can make it free for players and just kind of pay like a reduced cost to Starknet that way. But yeah, this is a tool that, I think improves the on-chain gaming experience on Starknet. And Slot is, we use it for like on RPC and spinning up like Katana or Tori, and just getting that endpoint is what Slot is for. And I know I've kind of gone deep into this, but achievement system is another thing that has been built by the team from Cartridge. It helps with Quest and Open Zeppelin. I mean, most people have heard of it if you're coming from Solidity, or even if you are, on Starknet, Cairo, you should have heard of Open Zeppelin, but we're using it for the token gating. And we're going to kind of like dive into that today. But yeah, these are other configurations. You kind of, if you read the docs, you're going to find this kind of documentations. But then I can go into a quick overview of like how Mancala or Dojo frameworks works. So there's kind of like a design system called ECS. It's just entity, component, and system. And Dojo kind of uses a similar model. So you have a model where keeps all the state of the game. I'm going to show you an example of this with Mancala board. But we have a model, we have systems. This is actions that kind of like mutate the state of the model. And like each kind of component is an entity too. So like if we have a individual Mancala game, we can consider it an entity. And it's probably going to make sense like if you dive deeper into it. But anyways, I'm kind of giving this overview so that it can give people a bit more context into kind of like what we're doing here. This is the state of the board. This is what, when you're playing the game Mancala, right? You have two players. This state contains these two players. So player 1, player 2 is there. And the active player, current player, we have it here, there. We have the timestamp to kind of calculate like the time between games. It's something that Naked suggested too, or it's already implemented. We use this to kind of like watch for the timeout. This is the state that contains the winner of every game, the game status, and if the game is private. Yeah, I'm kind of like walking through this. Again, I'm trying to vibe code this. Victor, do you have any question here or kind of like any suggestion to add to this, what I've been saying?
Not really. I think it's really clear.
Okay. All right. So the objective of what we're trying to do today, or like for the next today and the next session, is to implement like a pass. So we talked about, since the game is in active development, we want to have a pass for every month. So there will be like the pass for the month of April in this case. So Mancala pass for April, and kind of like different. Are we gonna have? We can integrate certain rewards to this, this pass. We can integrate like even a theme. So like long term on mainnet, we can have like if you have maybe a Ghanaian pass for the variants for Ghana. It comes with like its own custom theme. It comes with its own custom different things, and you can kind of like improve your own gaming experience because we can add some other features to it. But I mean, right now we're just building a plain pass, right? We do have a current system in place where we have it under settings, and we want to kind of like make it more customizable. This is where the Mancala pass address is. It's a contract address. I believe if we go to components, we're using a system called, a design system called Shinigami. It was also developed by the folks at someone at Cartridge. It breaks the game into like, we have components. These are like reusable game logic. This is the systems of the game. So we have a Mancala system, and we have types, and we have the models so that we just went through. So we just kind of like separated it. This is the models. But where we would have our our game logic to check for the pass will be, I think I implemented it before inside initializable to initialize the game settings, if I'm correct. Yes. This is where we initialize the settings for the Mancala pass, address, and the gamekeeper. And the Mancala pass is just like an open Zeppelin token. I'm going to clone that also because we do have that, and just kind of like walk you through that real quick. Trying to be mindful of time too. Just give me 1 second. So we have 3 minutes left. So I'm gonna pass. So I'm just going to clone the pass into this. Yeah. And then color pass. So again, the pass is just kind of like a basic ERC 720. Where users can mint the pass. Now, Victor, there's a quick question for you. What do you think other features can be kind of like that we can embed into the pass?
So you said,
yeah.
So you said something about having a pass for the people from Ghana that know how to play the Mancala from Ghana, the ones from Nigeria, the ones from other countries, right? So I think we can predefine the rules on chain, then kind of add like a property that says already have the settings property, right? That will just point there. But I'm thinking stuff like themes, the background image, the price, the currency, the language, stuff like that. I think those kind of properties would be cool to also have with it too. So yeah. So like we call it the same way I said at the beginning that when I was playing this before, I never knew the name was Mancala. So someone knows it as Ayo. So someone using the pass from, let's say Yoruba, let's say something like that, right? Would know it as Ayo. Then someone using it from English would know it as Mancala, that kind of thing. But it will all be the same game.
So what I'm thinking is if we do have a different pass for that, right? So we have the Ayo pass, but wouldn't that cause like some fragments? Because like if you have Ayo pass, you should still be able to play other game. Do you get what I'm trying to?
I get. So we can have like a universal ID or universal identifier that as long as this matches, it is a valid pass, that kind of thing. Then the data, then we then read the data from it, that kind of thing. Like, I don't know, you remember Ramses, right? In the NFT, they literally inscribed the data, the amount of tokens you are holding, your voting rights, that kind of thing. So I think the same thing can happen here. The image, the language, what Mancala is called in that language, that kind of thing. So yeah.
Okay. So would you consider that? Okay. So this is what I'm thinking here, right? We do have like a basic ERC 720, open Zeppelin. We get the components from this, and we implement this, and we're using the address right now, right, as the pass for Mancala. So it's like if we have the address implemented here from the setting, right? We just kind of, if you go to the gameplay here, in the gameplay, for you to be able to create a new game, we have this asset from the settings model, I believe. Let me just put it here. So from the setting model, we have an asset. To assert if it's a pass holder, right? So if the player is a pass holder, so we have the valid address that was initialized here, right? Then they can play a game. So that's kind of like the current implementation. If we do want to have multiple different paths, I think it's a thing of like setting it in a way that we can update it. So only the maybe admin.
Yeah. When you meet, it's probably called this function too, and updated that. Okay, someone minted an NFT with this ID, so this ID is now valid. That kind of thing.
No, I'm thinking we in our model. So in the model for this, we already do have it. We have a gatekeeper address, right? So the gatekeeper address, because Mancala is gated, right?
Mm-hmm.
has the ability to update the Mancala pass address.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in this case, I think I already wrote this code. I think we've completed this by. So the gatekeeper should be able to update the pass address
Mm-hmm.
with a new one, right? And only the gatekeeper can do that.
Yeah.
So for every, so I'm just thinking we should maybe have like a map that have all the valid passes, because like
Yeah. So
if,
when you mint, the
Mhm.
gatekeeper updates the list of pass addresses and add that Mancala pass to it. Then when we are validating on the front end, it will check if this Mancala pass address belongs in that list. If it does, it is valid. If it doesn't, it is not valid. That kind of thing.
Oh well, no, that's not how I envision it. So how I envision is, because an ERC is 720, or even if we have 1155, right? It shouldn't matter, because like we can just check balance of this address, and this is what we implement right now. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we can only check balance of the address. So it's only we're only adding the ERC20 address there. So we can just validate if this user has a balance of the token. Does that make any sense?
I understand what you mean, but
Mhm.
I think only ERC20 tokens have the balance of function. You get
That's
so
no
I
ERC721. That's literally how you're validating it right now, and we
I
can
see.
confirm, right? We can easily confirm this with going here and going to Open Zeppelin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got the documentation. Okay, this is not for us. Wait, we got one for Cairo, yeah. Here's the 721. We can check the API of the documentation. See, there's a balance of
I see.
total number of NFT owned by
Mhm.
an account. Even with the ERC 721, it should have a balance of two. See, it has a balance.
But I mean, you could that balance of it returns you 256. So I'm guessing it returns the number of NFTs or tokens of that contract address you have. That's what I'm guessing.
No,
I don't
no.
think it will return the data or something.
Okay, we can confirm this with kind of like
Yeah.
going into the dev branch. I'm pretty sure that's the system we got. And give me a second.
Yeah, I don't
Again,
think it will return the data.
we can do another 6 minutes and kind of like end it, because I know time is past.
Yeah.
Today I'm just vibe coding to kind of like introduce you to it. Next week it's going to be more structured. But it turns out that I actually already implemented the game pass logic. We can just kind of like go over that a little bit and then we'll call it. So I know I have it somewhere. Yes, I'm going to go to the develop branch. Okay, so this is the ERC20 address. I'm going to the Explorer, and I actually wanted to show something later. I mean, it's not fancy, but Stark scan. You know, Katri just created an Explorer, right? So we can have like our own local Explorer, make it more faster to test this kind of stuff. But we go to read, right? Balance of, let's just think of balance of my account, right? Because this is what you look for. So I'm going to go find my account address. Just give me 1 second. So if I put this, yeah, see, it says my account has 2. This is not the total number of tokens, because if you check total, there should be a read for that. Or maybe there is none.
So what I'm also thinking is we could add an extra screen to Mancala where you get, because you can have multiple NFTs. You can have the one for Nigeria and you can have the one for Ghana, right? So you should be able to select which NFT you want to play with, that kind of thing. The same way Ethereum did it last season, we can have that too at the beginning of the game.
I see that part. But again, you see the total supply is 46, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you just want to if you want to clarify that, and maybe this can be something we can work on, right? Is you saying we have another screen, like how Ethereum has the
Yeah,
game
where
pass
you select Game
with
Pass.
different resources. So
Yeah,
you hit your game pass and then you can like log in and then play with it, right?
yeah.
So in our
Mm-hmm.
case, if we do have that, that means we have implemented the variant system.
Yeah, yeah.
But then don't you, in my own head, I'm like the game pass should give you access to all the variants.
I mean,
Unless
the Game Pass
unless
is just for, is to customize, really, is to personalize and customize. It's not really doing anything differently. You get, so instead of it calling it Mancala, we call it Ayu, something relatable, something you understand better, that kind of thing.
okay, just to clarify, you're saying the game pass will be a system that gives people more customization. It's kind of like a collectible.
Yes. So we
Uh,
know that people from Ghana knows Mancala a certain way. So the Game
mhm.
Pass we have, the setting, they know how to play, the rules they know how to play by. It will have that. It will have names. If the name is called something differently in their local language, it will have what it's called in their local language. Instead of it, generalizing everything and calling it into Makala. Like even in the banner that we printed to, market in Anambra State, we call it Are You There? But at the top we wrote Makala. You get, so that anybody looking for Makala knows that yes, it's still Mancala, but it's more known as Ayo, that kind of thing. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I get that part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, it seems that it turned out that we already had a pass system. We can definitely for next week set up like a more robust plan on how we're going to implement some extra features into the pass system. Again, because time is fast spent, we just use the initial minutes to kind of like brainstorm. But we can have like a better roadmap and kind of like try to execute on that part for next week. And maybe showcase some of the features of the V2. But Paul, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. I think again time is fast spent. And turns out I already implemented the pass system. We can adjourn this to next week where we kind of have like a setting goal we're gonna try to eat and just vibe code into it. So I would like to like appreciate people for kind of like stopping by. And next week we'll have like a more robust live coding section.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that works. So just to be clear, you said next week we'll be expecting what?
Next week we should kind of like add a bit of extra features into it. Right now we have a pass system, right? And next week we just kind of like speedball some ideas. We kind of like work on that, and maybe on Wednesday we can update that roadmap for what people should expect for next like coding session.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Cool. Okay. I mean, we've spent like an hour, which is nice, and we actually have like very strong community joining us for this, and we hope everyone actually joins like for next week's session as well. And if you have any specific question, you can join Mancala's Discord. Is it possible for you to share this on the Stand Africa group? Okay.
Yes, I will share the link from the Starknet African group and the Telegram link too.
Yes. So if you have specific question about the game or about the live coding session, you can easily go to their Discord and share and ask the question. And if you are looking forward to participate in the next Mancala Monday, you can just hit me up or hit up Okay. And yeah, when you would have a slot to play.
And there's a
And
prize if you can
okay,
beat
cool.
the
Yeah, cool, cool. So we'll actually like announce the bounty. I think Okai would make the announcement to give insight on the bounty if you can beat him or Eniola. I mean, if you have been following for the past few sessions, you will know that it's quite difficult to beat them. So if you are up for the challenge, you should make your interest in the group, and would have you in the next session. Well, that will be all for today, and bye, guys. See you next week, Monday.
All right. Thank you so much.